Hi there, welcome to Million Lights. My name is Pratik Shah. I am an assistant professor in Dr. D.Y. Patil School of Engineering. In the last module, we had discussed about embedded systems, how Arduino can be used in embedded systems, and Arduino Uno components. In this module, we'll be discussing about Arduino software, that is Arduino IDE. We'll be seeing how to download the Arduino software. Then we'll also be discussing about how to install it and about the programming in Arduino software. Arduino software is an open source software. That means it is freely available on official website of Arduino. So we can visit the Arduino website, that is www.arduino.cc. After visiting the website, there is a tab of download which is available at the top of the website. We can click on that tab. After clicking on the tab, it will provide us with various options such as Windows installer, Linux installer, Mac installer. Depending upon your operating system, you can download it. It is an about 88 MB of software for Windows. You will download it. After downloading that, you can start with the installation part. For saving the time, I have already downloaded it, and now we will see how to install it. The Arduino IDE installer will look like this. We have to double click on it to start the installation process. Then it will ask whether you want to allow this app to make changes to your PC. You have to click on yes. After this, the installation process begins. Now this is regarding license and agreement. We have to click I agree. Then it will ask about all these things, that do you want to install USB driver. All these things are important, so you have to click next. Okay, it then allows you to select the position where you want to install. Now presently I would like to install in the C directory program files. If you want to install it in any other drive, then you can do it. Okay, so I'll click on the install button, and now the installation process has begun. This software will require approximately 388 MB space in your program, so you can take that. We can see that lot of files are being extracted, so this requires about 3 to 5 minutes. We have to wait till that. As discussed earlier, the software is a simple software which has got all the things inbuilt or internally available, so that makes our work very easy. Finally, before the completion of the installation, it will ask for 2-3 things. Now you have to click on install button. It will ask for installation of device software. Then once again it will ask for the installation of device software. At that time you have to click install. So there will be 2 pop-ups that will be coming up. After that, a completed status will be displayed, which means the software is installed successfully, and a shortcut will be displayed on your desktop. The Arduino IDE will look like this. The shortcut of it will look like this. We have to double click it on it so that it is started. So to launch the application, we have to double click on it. So initially it will display the things, and then this is the software. Now here, this space, that is this white space, it is called as editor. It looks like a notepad. This is the place where we have to write the code. Let us first understand what is the code. Code is nothing but instructions that you want to give to your processor or controller. Now we'll take an example of the mall gate entry, which we have discussed earlier. Now what are the instructions that we have to give to the controller? First instruction is that check the input. Check whether the proximity sensor is detecting any input. So if any person is coming, the proximity sensor will provide you with some input, and that input is to be taken or accepted by the controller, and after taking that, it has to make the decision, and it has to turn on or rotate the motor. So when the motor is rotating, the person can come inside. So these are the instructions. Continuously check for the input from sensor, take a decision, and rotate, or motor should be turned on. After that, when the people are passed, close the motor, that is close the door with the help of the motor. So these are the instructions that we have to give to the processor. But the thing is, the processor does not understand the English. The instruction that I said, I cannot directly give it to the processor. It understands only machine language, that is ones and zeros. So the code is nothing but the language which your controller understands. So every controller has got its own different language. In the same way, Arduino has its own language, and that is very simple. Now that code or that instruction is to be written inside this space. Okay, so after writing this code, we have to check whether the code is correct or not. Just in the case of English, we check grammatical errors, we see whether there are any grammatical errors. Similarly, we have to check for syntactical error. That is checked with the help of this verify button. This verify button, when we click this verify button, it checks whether there are few errors or there are any errors, syntactical errors, and if the errors are available, this is the black area, here the message is displayed. If there is some error, the error will be displayed, and if the error is not present, then it will tell you the memory that is required and the variables which they occupy. So in this black area, error and status message will be given. Now we have seen this button which does the task of checking the code. This is also called as compilation of the code. The next button after it is upload button. This button is used to dump or burn the code onto the IC. Till now what we have done, we have just written the code in the IDE, we have checked whether the code is correct or not, but we have not yet dumped this code, or we have not put this code into the Arduino board. So for that purpose we have to use the upload button. When we press the upload button and we connect the Arduino and the PC with the help of the USB cable, the code will be converted into machine language, that is ones and zeros, and that will be transferred into the controller. Fine. So we have seen these two buttons, we have seen what is the work of the editor, we have also seen this passage. Now few other things we'll see. This is a tab for file in which we have new, open, open recent. These are used for using new sketches, open the recent one and all these things. Then similarly they are also used for saving and printing. Then we have another tab for edit, it is used for copying, pasting and all these things. Then sketch is one more tab, this is used for including libraries. We'll be needing libraries for few of the sensors, LCDs and all the things. In next modules we'll be discussing on that, how to include the libraries. Then tools is a very important tab that is available here. Now in tool what we have to select the board. Now we are using Arduino Uno board, as discussed earlier we have more than 15 boards, so we have to select the board which we are using. We are presently using Arduino Uno, so we have to tick on this button. Okay, in the same way there is also a tab for port. Now port is what, to which port the Arduino is connected. For that purpose we have to select on the port button. So these are few things. Then if you have any doubt you can use the help tab where there are example references and all the information relating to that. So this is basically the Arduino IDE. IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. So one software where all these things are combined together. Now finally one thing that we need to take a look at is this, that is serial monitor. It is used to display the messages when there is a serial communication taking place between Arduino board and the PC. So these are few bare minimum things that we need to know, and they are sufficient for starting with our experiment number 1. After understanding the process of downloading, installation and getting acquainted with the Arduino IDE, now we can start with the programming. We will learn only 5 instructions and then we can start with our experiment number 1, that is interfacing of LEDs. As C programming has a main function and the complete code is written inside the main function. The code is written sequentially, that is the order in which we are expecting the outcome or the execution is expected. In the same way the coding is done, line by line, sequentially. Okay, so here also the same process is followed as it is C++ based IDE, but instead of main function we have got two functions. One is void setup, another one is void loop, and all the program goes inside these two functions. Void setup and void loop, along with that we can also have few codes outside these functions, but that is if we are having user defined function and all the stuff. So for now we'll consider that all the code will go inside void setup and void loop. Now let us understand what is void setup and what is void loop. Void setup is a function that is used for initialization. Initialization of pins, initialization of variables, it is used to start libraries and this function runs only once. That is when you start or power up the Arduino board, or when you press the reset button, this function will run only once. Now what are the things that we have to include in void setup? We have to include the initialization of pins. As discussed earlier, we have got 20 pins, and out of them, all of them can be used as an input port or as an output port. So we have to initialize in which way we are using a specific pin. So suppose I want to use pin number 13 as an output port, then I have to specify that pin number 13 is an output pin. Now how I have to do, or how can I do, that will be discussed in the third instruction, but for now it is important to take a note that the initialization of these pins are to be done in void setup function. Similarly, variables which we are going to use, those are also to be initialized in void setup. Now what are variables? Variables are memory blocks, or they are containers in which we store some values. Now suppose we are using a particular sensor to measure the temperature. The value of the temperature is to be stored in the memory. So we have to store it in a variable. We'll discuss about variable during other programming stuff. Now we'll discuss about the second function, that is void loop. Now void loop function, it is used to run the program, or the main logic goes inside this loop. Now we'll take an example of the mall gate entry. We have to continuously check whether a person is coming. Then if he is coming, we have to open and close. The same thing has to be followed. This has to be done continuously. This is not done only once, so we have to do it continuously. For that purpose, this code will go inside void loop, and this will be executed continuously unless and until the power is turned off. So void loop is used for doing this kind of stuff. The next instruction is pin mode. This instruction is used to initialize which pin is used and in which mode. Suppose I am using pin number 13 as an output mode, then I have to specify it in void setup function that pin number 13 is used and it is used as an output port. Similarly, if I am using pin number A0, that is analog 0, then I have to specify that it is used as an input port. So I have to specify these things in void setup, and for specifying it we have a function called as pin mode. So pin mode is a function. Here one more thing I would like to bring to your notice, the syntax, that is pin, P is small and mode, M is capital. Now this is an case sensitive language, therefore we have to keep this in our notice. So always same terminology is to be used. So inside the pin mode we have to specify two things. One is the pin number and the mode in which we are using. So suppose I am connecting an LED to pin number 13. So LED is an output device, therefore I have to initialize pin number 13 as an output. So the syntax is pin mode 13 comma output. So in this way we can initialize any pin as an input or output. The syntax is simple: pin mode bracket the pin number, that is 0 to 13 or A0 to A5, followed by a comma, and after that I write either an output or an input depending upon the mode in which I am going to use it. And this thing is to be fed, or this thing is to be stored, or this thing is to be written inside the void setup function. Now we'll see how to produce an output from a particular pin, or how to accept an input from a particular pin. Till now we have seen two functions in which we have to write the complete code. We have seen the use of pin mode function, that is used for initialization of pin, that is we use pin mode for initialization of digital pins and analog pins, and we also specify in which mode we are using it. Suppose pin number 13 as output or input, whatever it can be. Now how can we produce an output from that? How can I produce a 5 voltage output from pin number 13? So that is what I have to learn. In the same way, how to accept a value from a particular pin. Suppose I am connecting a sensor to a pin number 7. So how to accept the value, or how to read the value from pin number 7, that is what we have to see. Therefore for that we have two functions, that is digital write and digital read. So first we will discuss digital write. Digital write function is used for producing a particular value or particular output from a pin. So suppose I want to produce 5 volts from pin number 12, then I can use digital write function. Now here also you can see D is small and W is capital. We have to type the code in the same way, else it will generate a syntax error. Okay, so after digital write, inside the curly braces or inside the round brackets, we have to write the pin number and the output that we are expecting. So suppose I want to produce a high output from pin number 13, then I have to write digital write 13 high. So this will produce 5 volts output, or this will give 5 voltage from pin number 13. Similarly, depending upon which devices you are connecting to which pins, you can use this thing. Now one thing you have to make sure that when you are producing 5 volts from pin number 13, you should be sure that this is initialized with the help of pin mode function in void setup loop. The next function is digital read. Digital read function is used to accept a value from the sensor that is connected to Arduino. Now here, suppose you are connecting the proximity sensor to pin number 13 of the Arduino. So you have to initialize pin number 13 as an input in your void setup loop, and for accepting the value, we are accepting the value and we have to store it in a particular variable. Why we are storing in a particular variable? Because afterwards we have to take decisions or we have to do some calculations. So for that purpose we have to store the value in a particular memory. Therefore we use variables. Now variables are nothing but containers in the memory where we store the data. Now here in this code we have used integer variable, that is int val. Int is the type of the variable. The variable can be either integer or character or float. Integer is nothing but decimals, that is 1 2 3 4. Character is nothing but abcd, and float is 1.2 1.3. So we are using here an integer variable, the name is val, and inside that val we are storing the value that is obtained from the sensor. So we are using digital read and 13. So we are calling the function called as digital read. So it will read the value that is available at the current instance at pin number 13, and if that is high, then 1 will be fetched and that will be stored in the variable val. If it is low, then 0 will be fetched and stored inside the variable val. So it is very simple to use these things. So with the help of these 5 functions, or we can say instructions slash functions, the first 2 were void setup, void loop. These 2 were the functions inside which all the code was to be written. Then we have discussed 3 functions: pin mode for initialization, then digital read and digital write. Digital write to produce output, digital read to accept the output. Now depending upon the logic, we have to place these at a proper location. If you have any queries regarding downloading, installation and programming in Arduino, you can find us on Facebook by the name Million Lights, or on Twitter. For more interesting such courses, you can visit our website www.millionlights.org. Thank you.